We are DeverauX.
You're watching National Rock Review.
See you at Dirtfest.
This is Mick from National Rock Review. We're hanging out with DeverauX tonight here in Lansing, doing a little practice space. Tell us about your appearance on Dirtfest this year, guys.
Well, we're super excited to play Dirtfest this year. Excellent lineup. Really excited about the headliner, Killswitch. We're all fans of that band and have been for years. Stoked about that. It's a great spot up in Birch Run. It's always a good time.
Yeah, we've worked with Matt several times. This will be our third year playing the festival, and we actually recorded our EP, The Last of Us, there with Matt at Metro 37. So we got a pretty good business history with him, and he's a great guy. Puts on a great show.
Well, what does Dirtfest mean to you guys personally as a band growing up in the Michigan area?
Dirtfest is really, it started, I think it's about 18 years ago, something like that. And it was just, it started local bands, and it's become this now nationally known festival. People come from all over. I'm not even sure how far people come from now, but with the caliber of nationals that they're bringing in and the sponsorship that they bring to the table is just, it's awesome. For a Michigan festival to rise up and become this well known, it's really remarkable.
What's your opinion on how it affects the local music scene?
I think it's definitely a good boost. It's an opportunity to feature a lot of local music, a lot of bands that otherwise wouldn't have the opportunity to be showcased in that kind of light get to be out there and be seen by fans of bands that are peers of the genre of music that they're going for. Everything from metal to rock to punk to whatever,
yeah.
What have you.
Yeah, it's one of those nice hodgepodge of all kinds of stuff. You see. You see heavy stuff, you see acoustic stuff, you see not only like you said, lots of local, but also lots of little bit of stuff from everywhere too. You get people driving long way to come see the show as well as to come be a part of the show. So it's a nice melting pot of all kinds of stuff.
What are some of the more memorable moments you remember from Dirtfest over the past years that really stand out to you?
When I sat down and ate lunch with Mike from All That Remains. That was pretty cool.
That's something you don't forget.
Yeah, last year Dave and I were back there prior to Seven Dust taking the stage, and we were standing there talking to Matt actually, and we look over and here comes Jean and Morgan and all the guys, and we're like, whoa, this kind of fanboy out for a second.
Yeah.
We're all just in our early 30s, and we grew up listening to all these bands, and for now us to get these opportunities to play with people who influenced us, it's an honor, really. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Give us some background on DeverauX for people who don't know anything about you.
We started in 2011. Him and I were in a band in the Lansing area for a long time, and after that was over, we put out some ads and we found some new players, and we kind of pulled the whole Phoenix move and were born out of the ashes of that other band, and we're able to kind of skip a lot of the building years of what it takes to establish a scene, and we were able to kind of jump up and get on a bunch of bills real quick and make a name for us relatively quickly, and it's been awesome, the response that we've gotten.
Yeah, we're fortunate enough to learn all the hard lessons that the garage young kids learn. Those lessons that they learn, we kind of learned those in another band. So when we come out with a fresh new band, you're not spending months and years. Oh, that's how they do that. Oh, that's how they do that. So we kind of cut our teeth already, and so we were able to get sort of a head start with this new incarnation.
How many records do you guys have out now?
We have one now. It's a 5-track EP. We have lots of new material on deck coming soon. It's under construction. But we have one EP.
We've actually already gone through the pre-production phases and have the tracks, the early stages of them recorded, the home demo version, so to speak, it's prepared. At this point, basically, we need to get the funding around, and we're going to be going back to Metro 37 and recording another EP, hopefully very soon.
And we can't wait. Yeah. Very soon.
Yeah.
Describe your sound to somebody who's never heard DeverauX before.
I'd say it's melodic metal. Definitely would be the genre that the mainstream would consider it. We're kind of a mixture between bands such as All That Remains and Seven Dust, Avenged Sevenfold. I mean, even Killswitch Engage is one of our huge influences.
Yeah. We all listen to mainstream stuff as well as underground stuff. We all like individually have pretty wide, tastes. So we try to keep it mainstream, for obviously for commercial purposes. But we don't want to be so cookie cutter and so like everybody else. So we try to throw in some little progressive elements here and there, little tricks whenever we can. But we do want to be marketable, somewhat commercial.
Speaking of mainstream, one of the more notable cover songs you guys do is Journey, Separate Ways, which is always a fan favorite in the crowds and all the shows I've seen you guys at. What led you guys to decide to cover that song in particular?
Classic.
Yeah, it was actually, that was at the end of the band that we were in previously, and we just, we kind of wanted to do something, not cliche, but just something memorable, and, an 80s anthem is what we were looking for. And that song has always stuck out in my mind as well. Years and years we've been playing together, and that song's always been one of those just kind of more darker, almost hard. It's kind of like Journey's version of metal to begin with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's already got that.
It's sort of it is more one of Journey's like heavier tracks, and they're such an iconic band, so you can't like if you're making a list of epic songs, epic bands, Journey's in that list. You can't make a list without Journey. So they're one of those you had to touch it.
and that song, we didn't really have to do much to it. It was already in a minor key. It was already at like a pulsy 124 beat. Like it was already pre-made to just
we had
be
a formula
up.
of what what does a song have to have already in it that makes it easier to turn into a metal song. Minor key sure does help. The tempo helps, and that fit all the criteria to making that song heavier, and that's how it came out.
So basically, I just kind of added some double pedal to it.
Just crank the gain up on the guitar, add double kick pedal, scream on
Steve
it.
Smith's part is pretty much there for like the first minute and a half of the song, and then I just start adding and rock.
Yeah.
It's
Again, that comes from us listening to all kinds of stuff, classic rock, So that's.
So have you guys had like a seriously crazy mosh pit going during that song at any of the gigs you played?
That song definitely brings people.
It got pretty wild last year at Palooza in Jackson.
Yes.
We got a pretty decent slot. We played at 7 p.m. main stage right before Adam Gantier, and I'd say we played to easy 5,000-6,000 people, and that song was probably received the best out of all the stuff we played. So.
I'd have to agree.
Yeah, maybe not so much of a pit, but definitely
There was a lot of bodies
the
moving.
jump, the whole, when you see, like you said, like that was 5,000-6,000 people all jumping. That's
The response was apparent. Yeah,
it brings your heart to your throat,
Yeah.
We got some tricks up our sleeve for this next one too.
Yeah.
So.
Cool.
So was Rockapalooza one of the bigger shows you played in the recent year?
Yeah, Rockapalooza 2013 was probably one of the biggest shows we've ever played.
That and Common Ground the prior year to that.
Yeah, Common Ground 2012
Yes.
Yeah.
was a similar size audience.
We opened for Great White on stage 2 the night 3 Days Grace played.
Sure.
And the gods just were in our favor because we were in a tent and it started raining right before, like 5 minutes before we took the stage. And
A very, very large pavilion.
And everybody just piled in.
Yeah.
So we kind of got a built-in crowd for that one.
Yeah. Right before we.
But we
started,
kept them there, so I mean, we did our part.
That's right.
How did DeverauX get its name?
That actually comes from a family name of mine. My grandmother and grandfather had the name DeverauX. It's a French surname, and it's always been in my family my whole life. And when we were trying to, in the inception of this band, we were just, looking for something that wasn't going to be, easily mocked, something that wasn't going to be easily cliche, something that wasn't going to be just like every other band. We didn't want a prepositional phrase. We didn't want all, what everybody else is doing. And I proposed that we just use a proper noun, like Van Halen, or Chevelle, or people like, what does it mean?
Who doesn't like a one-word band? I mean,
exactly.
One word, Tool.
One word, simple
Like, I mean,
bands. Yeah. Well, but then again, like going back to the proper noun thing, like when you hear someone's name, when you hear the name of the band 3 Inches of Blood, you kind of know what they're gonna sound like before you even hear them because their band is called 3 Inches of Blood. So you think, hey, these guys are gonna grind, they're gonna be heavy. But when you hear a name, just a proper noun, you don't know what to make of it. You have no preconceived notions of what you think it might be, so you don't know if you're gonna like it or not. So we want to keep the curiosity there for people who don't know what to expect.
Yeah,
Just a
that
proper
ambiguity
noun.
is it's beneficial in some
Ambiguity,
ways,
Sure. A little mystery.
Exactly right.
There you go. So coming back to Dirtfest again, what are some of the other local bands that you're looking forward to seeing and playing with this year?
Definitely Through the Ashes. They're good friends of ours, right down the road from Battle Creek. We have played many times with what was once a local Battlecross, but now an international sensation.
Definitely stoked to see Battlecross.
So they're definitely one that we're happy to see.
It Lies Within.
It Lies Within from Flint. They're good. They get a lot of recognition on Dirtfest. They've done a lot of work, and it's pretty much a home-based show
It's a
for them.
hometown show for them.
So they really do well. They they usually get a main stage slot at a good prime time. And, they're a great act.
Do you guys have any funny, ironic, iconic Battlecross stories from playing with them back in the day?
I don't know, funny, ironic, or iconic. We've played with them here in Lansing, and not really. I guess it's just kind of cool, just hanging out with them at a bar here in Lansing that really has a capacity of about 250 people, and just sitting there at the bar having a beer with Gumby and having him put his hand on my shoulder and say, I want to tell you this secret, but I can't. I can't tell you. But it's a really good secret.
Who can blame him?
And
he
about
walks away.
about 6 or 7 weeks later, the national official announcement that they've been signed to Metal Blade came out. So
Right.
I was just right then and there. I was just like, yep, I already knew.
Yeah.
I already knew.
Yeah. I just remember being completely blown away by that band from the first time I saw them, and still today in their new material. They're just so good at what they do. They're so tight, and they're definitely on top of their game.
I'm not even a huge fan of thrash, and I bought that album and it doesn't leave my CD player.
Right.
I absolutely love it. They make me want to like it.
Yeah, they're so good at what they do. They are bringing that, not really a lost genre, but redefining that genre. They are putting that sound back in the limelight.
I mean,
They're so good at
when
it.
you're good enough that you get Shannon Lucas to tour with you.
Yeah, that says it all right
According
there.
to Wikipedia, he's a member now.
Oh,
He's
there
not-
you
he's
go.
not
You
even
guys got
touring.
Shannon Lewis.
Are you kidding me?
You're
Okay, there you
there. You're there. You made it.
No, it is cool at Battlecross. I've heard them often referred to by many people as the second coming of Pantera, which
I could
is
see
quite
that.
the
I could-
honor.
Yep.
I mean, that's a pretty lofty
They
pedestal.
actually
to put
did,
them
yeah,
up
they
on.
recorded the cover version of fucking Hostile.
They recorded that?
It's recorded.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, they killed that.
So cool. So what else do you guys have coming up between now and Dirtfest? Any gigs that we can check you out at?
Yeah, this weekend. I mean, I'm not sure when this will be released, but this weekend we're playing at the Foundry on it's July 25th with Wayland, and then the very next night we're doing kind of a cool thing. It's a tribute show for this. The local radio station Q106 does a summer cover concert series, and here at the Loft in Lansing, and the well-known tribute act Battery, which is a Metallica tribute act, is coming through. And we're playing direct support for them as Guns N' Roses. So it's kind of like a tribute incarnation of the 1992 Use Your Illusion tour. We're just hoping that nobody gets burned, there aren't any riots, and
no Canadians.
we're just
Very
we're
few
hoping for the
Canadians.
best.
So you guys probably go on stage at like 1 a.m. then?
Exactly.
Pretty much after an hour and a half interim of blackness and no
We'll
music.
just shut the lights off and make everybody wait for us.
That's right.
Any other gigs coming up before Dirtfest?
Actually, the day before, we were playing the pre-party to the Up in Flames festival that is actually taking place on the same day as Dirt Fest down in Hell, Michigan. But and since we have a standing booking with Matt Dalton and Dirt Fest, so we're going to play the pre-party the night before, and then the next day we'll be up for Dirt Fest.
Excellent. Cool. Anything else you guys would like to add?
We really appreciate the support that everyone gives us, and
check out the page, give us likes, play our material, look us up on YouTube. We would definitely like to get our new material out as soon as possible. So
Buy a shirt. Buy a
yeah,
CD.
buy a shirt, support us any way you can. Buy a shirt, buy a CD.
And that goes for all bands. I mean, not just us.
Yeah.
It's the driving force for local bands, and every shirt you buy puts us that many more miles down the road.
Music industry is so different now. The way people buy records, the way people buy songs. Now people just buy songs. They don't buy albums anymore. So it's really hard for a local band, any local band, to sort of get a leg up, and us selling our own merchandise is the best way to do that.
Excellent. DeverauX, thank you guys very much.
Thanks for
Looking
coming
forward
out,
to see you
man.
guys at Dirt Fest, man.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.